Project first came together in 2013 because you approached me about a project you were planning in Manchester. We carved out some time to collaborate and explore how we can put my visuals and your sounds and music together. I think one of the things that everybody says when they come to metal is that I'm not going to do anything about trains, and they are around you the whole time, and you're very conscious that this is a working station, so it creeps into what you do, and inevitably Arrival at the Engine Room ended up being about trains.
As I was working, having taken sounds from the space to develop them and sort of process them electronically, I was then finding that some of the waveforms I was finding had a lot in common with some of the cello samples I'd taken as well. And so a lot of my work founded on somehow creating relationships between those things to create a sound world for the piece which somehow embodied this place. So it became quite an open devising process, which also involved Jennifer Langridge of Safa, cellist, where Jennifer would come in and we would have a very free way of working with the kind of sounds that Jennifer could make in combination with any manipulations I would do with the technology. It was an undefined working process where we were simply finding out what we could do.
It was always going to be a live process, that visuals and the sound world were manipulated live in front of an audience rather than just being a pre-recorded soundtrack that Jennifer was going to play along to. And that sort of three-way collaboration was really interesting in terms of seeing how one idea would trigger another.
And then to find out when we put those with visuals, as we started to do as the process developed, how that then makes a third party. So it's the connection then between what we're hearing and how then what we see begins to influence that.
Working towards a final performance as such was great for us to focus our energy into coalescing everything that we worked on over the previous 6 months. And it was great to have an invited audience from a really broad range of filmmaking, live music, composition and performance who gave us lots of really interesting feedback on the nature of how they received the show.
It surprised us as well in that the final work was very much a joint collaboration, not only between Joe and myself, but also Jennifer. And that was something which perhaps we hadn't anticipated, and it was due to the fact that we had to produce some summative work for this event. But by doing so, it's shown us, and it's created an avenue for us to develop further.